Hey guys, Unloxy here, back with, well, not quite back with any, I mean, I'm back in general, I suppose, but this is going to be like a rambling mini review of Unworthy. Jack is in my lap here. Let me continue real fast. And then, well, I'll show you guys a little bit of gameplay first, or here in a second, but first off, before anything else happens, would I recommend the game? The answer is yes. Okay. Of course, it's conditional. If you like Souls-likes, then I recommend it. If you're interested in Souls-likes, I actually might even highly recommend it. And here's why, okay? So first off, this sounds stupid. But this is probably one of my favorites so far, and I haven't even heard of it. I didn't even hear of it until I watched an Iron Pineapple video, which was Steam dumpster diving, looking through all the different Souls-likes on Steam. And this was in like the 8th video that he's done. So no one knows about it. And yet I would probably rate it in the top 5. Which kind of blows me away. I mean, if you look at it, and you're seeing it here, it's not a lot to look at, you know? It is very retro graphics. It's black and white. It's pixel. And yet, that's not the important thing, strangely enough. So, let me compare it to both Demon Souls and Hollow Knight, okay? Demon Souls, as far as I'm concerned, is the game that basically started the Soulsborne genre. It's not... It might be. It actually might be. Because I know there was like Kingsfield and Shadow Tower and stuff before it, but those weren't really like 3D third person whatever. I still plan to play maybe the Kingsfield games for the channel, but I don't know if they have like the lose experience on death mechanic that, you know, the Soulsborne games became known for. This does. Although you don't lose your experience, you only lose your sin, which is your currency. So you lose your currency, but not your experience. And your currency does not give you levels, right? So in the Soulsborne games, you get souls, and that is both your currency and your experience, right? You sit at the bonfire, and then you can spend it on your, as experience, or you could wait and go spend it at shops. In this game, in Unworthy, when you kill an enemy, you gain experience, but you also gain sin, and they're separate. Experience is experience. It levels you up after a while. Sin is currency. They are separated. In Hollow Knight, you don't have experience at all. You have... It's more like Zelda. You have like mask shards, which are basically heart containers. And then you have equipable charms, which grant you different powers and bonuses and stuff like that. Unworthy is kind of like a cross between Demon Souls and Castlevania, the original for the NES. And I will say it sounds strange, but this might be one of my favorites. It might even be my favorite, which blows me away. And the reason is because it's slow. Jack's right here in my lap. Maybe I should go demonstrate, okay? But what I mean before I show you guys, and you can watch my whole blind playthrough if you wish, but But it's almost like a puzzle game. It has some puzzle elements. There are areas that have no enemies that just have like sort of a puzzle to solve. It's an environmental puzzle. You know, it's how to get the platform across to the other side type deal. But really, what appeals to me about the game most is its speed. Like I said, it's slow. When you attack, I don't know if you can hear the clicks. Let me move the controller closer to the microphone. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a delay. There's no delay on the roll, but on the attack, there's a delay of about a second. Similar to Castlevania, similar to the original. So what that basically means is that you're not necessarily disincentivized from attacking, but you have to be methodical. You can't just go up and... Like, Hollow Knight is very fast-paced. Hollow Knight, you're like, whack, 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 whack. Right? Enemies are jumping all over the place. You gotta dodge and stuff. It's fast. Here, it's a bit more like a dance, and you're not the leader. If you run in and try and whack, 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 you will die. But if you learn the enemies and you learn what they're doing and you learn their attacks and you learn their timing, you could probably get through with 0 damage. It wouldn't surprise me at all if there was a hitless run of this game that people were doing. Some of the areas, like one of the last areas that I really struggled with, I watched a speed run of it. It's trivialized by a certain strategy. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna do that from now on, you know? But it's all about learning the dance, right? Because enemies especially, but also bosses, they only have... You know what, let's talk more about bosses, because that's more interesting. Bosses only have a handful of attacks. As you deplete their life, you know, 25, 50, 75%, there goes Jack. They either get buffs to their attacks like fire or curse or whatever, or they get additional attacks or they get combos or whatever. The hammer boss is probably my best example. I'm nowhere near there, but he is slow and he hits with his hammer. And so you roll out of the way and then you whack him. And he attacks with the hammer again, you roll out of the way and then you whack him. But eventually you do enough damage to him, so he starts doing a second attack. He attacks with his hammer, and you roll out of the way, and then he swipes with a sword, and you get hit. And so I was like, oh crap. I died. I died a bunch. You can watch the video on my channel. And I'm like, I need to figure out what I'm doing, what to do, right? And it's kind of clever because his first attack is so short range, you can basically sidestep it. You can just walk back, take a step back, walk forward, don't get hit. The enemies themselves don't hurt you. It's the attacks that hurt you. So you can walk next to the enemy, you'll be fine. So you walk forward, dodge his hammer, roll under the sword, and then attack, attack, attack. And then he starts doing a third thing. And so you roll, attack, attack, and then roll a different way. And then you wait. It's all about learning the dance. I read a bunch of Steam reviews, the negative ones. And all of them are basically saying, this game is too hard, this game is this, I run in, I get killed, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's a Souls game. What do you think? What do you think? What are you expecting? But it distills the essence of the Souls games. Those like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, or whatever, where you have like, it's almost like you're doing a strength build, right? You have a shield in this, but it it only blocks every 20 seconds or so. You can't block everything. You cannot tank hits. It's all about learning the patterns. It's puzzling out the enemies and the timing. And once you get good, oh my god, right? Get good. Once you learn the timing, you can not breeze through, but I almost did a hitless run of the final boss on my blind playthrough because I learned the timing. And then I screwed up a couple things and he almost killed me with a couple of hits. It punishes you for not doing what you're supposed to do. It punishes you for being impatient or greedy. You're like, I can get that third hit. No, you can't. No, you can't. You have to know the timing. And the fact that it's so slow, it actually... Maybe this is shitty of me to say. It's kind of easy. The game is kind of easy. And honestly, if you're looking to get into the Souls genre, this is probably a perfect starting point. Because it's all about learning the enemies. And the save points are close enough, you only have to usually go through a few rooms. It's not like Demon Souls where you have to go through the whole freaking level. You know? Or even the Dark Souls where you have to run through a gauntlet of enemies. You do in this. There individual enemies can kill you, but it's all you have to do is learn. That's it. You know, towards the end, even the hardest area, I was just like, I'm just gonna run through this, and I was like dodging the enemies, just because. So let me show you the game real fast, just a little bit. You'll kind of see what I mean. This is the second area, the second main area. The surface was the first area at this point, I started a new game. I defeated the first boss, and that lets us go down here. And a lot of people are complaining. They're like, oh, the elevators. Oh, I spent so much of my time in elevators and blah, 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 right? To me, this is a perfect representation of what the game is. It's slow. It's not about, you know, constantly injecting digital heroin into your veins. And here's an enemy, right? I didn't get hit because I learned the pattern. Attack twice. You have a 3-hit combo with your sword and shield. You have a little bit of a delay on the third. Your first two are quick, but the third is a bit slower. You can stagger the Dark Lurker for the first 2 hits. The third, you can, but it sort of immobilizes you, so it's best to just whack, whack, roll, because she'll attack. Attack, attack, roll. Attack, attack, roll. And then if you have to, you can kind of pull back and just go just out of reach. Because if you go too far out of reach, she shoots like a little ball at you. She spits at you. But if you stay just out of reach, she'll walk towards you and then try and hit you with melee. And so you just walk until, you know, your stamina recovers. And then it's whack, whack, roll. And it's still tense. Because one mistake, you know, she'll take off like a quarter of your life, a third of your life, maybe even half, right? The final boss, one of his attacks, one attack takes off 75%. Or it can. But I got hit by like a combo hit, or where it was like a flame along the ground. It kept pushing me back into more of the flame, so I got hit. And I was at full health, and then I was at 10% of my health. And I was like, oh my god. And that was after doing it almost hitless for that run, you know? I was just like, oh god. You know, it can be super punishing. But you just have to take it slow. All these people are like, they just want to run in. It's the same thing with all the Souls games. They just want to run in and just, why can't I just whack the enemy until he dies? You mean I can only take a couple hits? Yes, that's exactly right. That's why the Souls games are so amazing. Or at least, you know, Demon Souls and maybe some of the others. Because it's all about taking it slow, observing your environment, being cautious. It's like you're an actual, you know, fragile, squishy human being. You know, you walk down a really claustrophobic, tight passage, and you walk in there with your shield up, and you see a, you know, elevated brick on the ground, and you're like, okay, that's probably a trap. Where's the trap? And you look around, and you're like, oh, there's a hole up in front of us. Okay, well, let me step on it with my shield up. And it shoots arrows out, and you're like, oh, okay, got it. I understand. I get it now. The casual player runs through. They're like, oh, this is no problem. Steps on the thing. Why am I getting hit by arrows? You gotta treat it like it's something, you know? So, would I recommend the game? Yes, absolutely. If you're a Souls fan, then absolutely I would recommend this game. If you're looking to get into the Souls franchise, this is probably the greatest way to start, because it, like I said, it's slow. It can be fast. Some enemies can be super difficult. But once you learn the timing and learn the proper strategy, you're fine. I'm not gonna say you're gonna get through hitless, but you'll manage, you know? And every death, every time I died, I felt like it was mostly my fault. There were a couple where I was like, eh. But by and large, I was like, this is doable. Every death, I was like, that I shouldn't have rolled there, or I should have waited a second to roll, or I should have, oh, I got greedy. I went for 3 hits when I should have got 2 and rolled away, or, you know, that's how it is. So that's kind of where I am. I would recommend this game highly to Souls fans, and maybe those that like, maybe even those that like puzzle games, because like I said, it's kind of, there are some puzzle elements, and I mean, it sounds stupid, but I would. Yeah, it's, I don't know what else to say. I mean, like I said, I recommend it. It's a great game. It's criminally underrated. Criminally underrated. I don't know, maybe this rambling mini review is garbage. Maybe it's not. I'll watch it again and then we'll see. I didn't even know, I was gonna say I didn't even need, because I'm an idiot. I didn't even know you could load. You have multiple save files. Right? I went new game and I was like, oh, you only have one save file. It'll erase your previous one. No. This is my previous save file, the one that I did for the channel. This is my new one. You could pick, I don't know what the L is. Latest? Who knows? But it's a great game. Highly recommend it if you're interested in Souls games, or maybe getting into them. I don't know where all the negative reviews were coming from, because it's like, I mean, have you not played a Souls game before? That's possible. They probably watched like a YouTuber play it and they're like, that looks fun, and then they get their balls rocked and they're like, oh my god, this is the worst game ever. But it's not. It's, by Souls standards, it's almost easy. But it's still really fun. I really appreciate the slow pace, and when I say slow, it's more like deliberate. You know? It's more strategy. It's more like a dance. You know? But yeah, that's it. That's it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. I'm not going to do a unique positive moment. I'm maybe gonna do this as like a bonus episode or something. So there you go. Hopefully you guys have a good one, and I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.